The Stupidest Criminals of All Time by Sunny Vay 2.
In 2009, Matthew McNally and John...
What were these niggas doing? What the fuck were these niggas planning on? What the fuck were these niggas planning on doing? Why are you coloring your face black? Hold on. That's a way to start a video, nigga.
In 2009, Matthew McNally and Joey Miller robbed a home in Iowa using masks drawn onto their faces with permanent black marker.
Hey, yo! Imagine saying, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna fucking... we don't got masks. We don't got masks, so I'm gonna just put a fucking... I'm gonna draw with permanent marker on my face. At that point, wear a sock over your head, nigga. Just put on a... You gotta be dumb as hell, bruh. You gotta be dumb.
Whilst on the run, the two discovered that permanent black marker doesn't rub off easily, leading to their simple arrest and embarrassingly stupid mugshots. However, these two still look like geniuses in comparison to some of the other idiots we'll be talking about as we discuss the stupidest criminals of all time. Take for example MacArthur Wheeler, who robbed 2 banks in broad daylight
Batman from
as
Wish.
he thought that pouring lemon juice on his face would make him invisible to cameras. When shown the bank surveillance footage, Wheeler refused to believe that he was visible, stating to officers, "But I wore the juice," believing that as long as he didn't come near a heat source, he should have been completely invisible.
What?
Police concluded the Wheeler was not crazy or on drugs, just incredibly mistaken, with the lemon juice mistake eventually costing Wheeler a 24.5-year prison sentence.
What?
However, if we're on the topic of terrible disguises, then we can't go past Dennis Hawkins, whose disguise as an old lady wasn't much better. His sweater accompanied fake boobs, a full beard, and fittingly clown pants, with this insanely recognizable outfit helping police to catch Hawkins only an hour after the robbery. The police chief for the area stated, "He would get my nomination for dumbest criminal, I think. You still have his black facial hair with a blondish wig. Definitely different." Different is also a good way to describe Patrick McGuire's disguise, who robbed an Illinois convenience store while covering his face with a clear plastic bag.
These shits can't be real, nigga. These shits can't be fucking real, bro. There's no fucking way. People cannot be this dumb, bro. Ain't no damn way. Ain't no damn way, bro. Pulled up to a convenience store with a clear plastic. What were you even trying to hide? What was bro trying to hide, bro? What was he trying to hide?
He was only able to obtain $60 from the robbery. However, due to his extensive criminal history, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for the stunt, meaning that he had to spend 1 year in prison for every $4 stolen from the store.
Nigga spent 15 years in prison for $60, nigga. Imagine going to prison for $60, nigga. $60. You did all that for fucking $60, nigga.
Talk about a bad return. Equally bad was Paul.
Oh my God.
Who attempted to rob a bank in Florida by using his fingers curled up into a gun shape. The quote-unquote weapon was so non-threatening that the bank teller gave him only $120, after which he'd flee on foot before being caught by police only 10 minutes later. Bro. Then there was James Blankenship, who thought that robbery was legal as long as you did it at a certain time of day. Back in 2013, Blankenship broke into his own mother's home, after which the police were called, who would take to their Facebook page later that day to explain what had happened. He fled the scene upon seeing his mother. The male was located under the house hiding in a crawl space. When advised of his charges, he made the statement, "I thought you could only be charged with burglary if you break in during the night time." Blankenship was given 180 days in jail and ordered to pay a $100 fine, yet this wasn't the only time when a person...
Like... Legal is just stupid. Thinking it's legal is dumb. But robbing your own mom is crazy, bruh. Like, I'm not, like, robbing your own mom, bruh. Like, nigga. Like, at that point, nigga. Come here. Come here. Give me your wee-wee, nigga. At that point, like, fuck jail. Give me your, put your wee-wee right here. Put your wee-wee right here. I'm snipping that bitch. I'm snipping it. Oh, you not circumcised yet? I'm gonna circumcise your ass. I'm snipping it. Robbing your mom is crazy, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
was
That's
dumb
fucked
enough
up.
to think that a law didn't apply to them. Because when Reuben Pavin was caught stealing from a charity thrift shop in New Hampshire, he'd state that he thought everything was free because of the name of the business, Finders Keepers. The sign did say Finders Keepers, so I took that DVD player, took it home,
What?
Pavin told the local TV station.
Nigga,
A couple
what?
of weeks later, the stuff is still there on the porch, so I'm thinking to myself, Finders Keepers, they probably just put stuff out there for people to take.
In his
The business
defense,
responded via Facebook stating, "This man who was caught on video is saying it is all a misunderstanding. He thought everything at our store was free." Is that
In
really
his-
the best
in his
excuse you can come
defense-
up with? After which Pavin reportedly turned in the stolen goods to police, holding that he's not a bad person or a bad
Yeah, in
guy,
his
that he's
defense,
rather
bruh.
just unbelievably stupid. But was he as dumb as Derek Mosley, who in 2013 attempted to rob a store named Discount Gun Sales by using a baseball bat? When Mosley allegedly barged into Discount
I don't even need to hear how, after that, I don't need to hear how dumb this nigga was, nigga. Nigga, trying to rob a gun store is crazy. Even if you had a gun, trying to rob a gun store is mad. Mad. Mad.
on gun sales and smashed the display counter with his baseball bat, the store manager simply pulled out his own personal firearm and pointed it straight at the would-be robber, holding Mosley in the store until he was arrested and charged with
like, come on, bruh.
A similar story then came out of Texas in July 2022 when a gun store was robbed at knife point, although this tale instead ended in a body bag as the robber was fatally shot by the store owner as he tried to exit with his loot. But what happens when you accidentally call 911 whilst committing a crime? Pocket dialing the police is probably a fairly common occurrence. However, for Carson Reinhardt and Nathan Eckler-Merriam, it happened at the most unfortunate moment, specifically while they were breaking into a car. The alert dispatcher soon realized that the call was an accidental one, and moreover that the guys on the other end might be up to no good. For the next 35 minutes, the dispatcher stayed on the line, listening and gathering information, as Eckler-Merriam and Reinhardt did the following. Discovered a car that they thought they could burglarize, discussed how to break into the car, allegedly broke into the car, exclaimed in delight over finding narcotics in the car, became confused as to how and why a police car was following them, and reacted in disbelief when the arresting officer revealed that they'd been on the line to 911 the entire time. Scott Simon found himself in a...
What? How do you accidentally butt dial 911? Like, never in my life. Like, how does your fucking ass cheek just suddenly click 911, nigga? Like, there's no possible way to butt dial. This nigga's ass cheek must have fingers. Like, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Similar situation, although under much more severe circumstances. Whilst on trial for murder in 2015, Scott was successfully sentenced to life in prison, as 2 years prior he'd pocket dialed the police while admitting to a friend that he was the one who committed the crime. He had no idea he called 911, a sheriff's office spokeswoman told the Miami Herald. He basically told on himself, as did Albert Bailey, although in a much stupider way. Bailey had planned on robbing a bank in Fairfield, Connecticut, although rather than
CT reppin',
he'd call the bank prior to the robbery stating, "I want $100,000 in large bills and no die packs. I'll be sending someone into the bank to get the money.
This nigga called a hell of time to rob the bank."
Scanner. Prior to making this phone call, Bailey had already served 7 years in prison.
This nigga thought he was the Joker.
Robbery. However, this new plan was equally ineffective.
This nigga thought he was the fucking Joker.
Collect his cash, Bailey was locked inside, arrested, and sentenced to another 9 years in prison. Although if he...
This nigga thought he was the fucking Joker. Yeah, bro. I'm sending someone over. Like, what the fuck? Who do you think you are, nigga? You better have some elaborate ass plan to be doing that, bro. You better be on some actual Joker shenanigans, bro. You better be on, like, you better have bombs set up in that bitch. Like, bombs. Like, yeah, if y'all make one goddamn move, I'm blowing the whole place to bits. Like, now that would be a plan.
He wanted to avoid this time behind bars. He could have had a chat with Tito and Amanda Watts, who got arrested in Florida for selling tickets to enter heaven at a price of $100.
What?
Tito Watts said in his police statement, "I don't care what the police say. The tickets are solid gold. And it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the KFC and said to sell them so I could get me some money to go to outer space. You should arrest Jesus because he's the one who gave me the golden tickets and said to sell them. I went to wear a wire and set Jesus up." The couple had apparently earned over $10,000 from the stunt, meaning that they were able to find people even dumber than them, one of which might have been Ruben Zarate.
Selling golden tickets is crazy. Selling golden tickets to heaven is crazy, but you could obviously tell they were crackheads. blatant as day, they look like crack. They were on something. Crack, meth, cocaine, I don't know. But for the niggas to buy it? For people to buy it? 100 of them? Ain't no damn way. That's a come up, nigga. That's a come up, bro. That's a come up, bro. I don't like. That's a fucking come up.
Attempting to rob a muffler shop in 2008, Zarate was told that the shop couldn't access the money safe without their manager, who didn't begin his shift until later that afternoon. Instead of bailing on the robbery, Zarate instead gave them his phone number, asking them to give him a ring the next time the manager was in. They did so later that afternoon, although after returning to the store, Zarate received no money and was instead met by police and charged with aggravated robbery. Then there was the man who gave the people he was robbing something even stupider. The unnamed robber walked into a London bank carrying a gun and a bag, which he'd take to the front desk before demanding £700,000 in cash from the bank worker. But after making his demands, the crook handed over his gun to the cashier instead of the bag.
What?
Investigating authorities stated, the guess is that he is very inexperienced and panicked when he approached the cashier, handing over his gun instead of a bag by mistake. But it was Trevor Jones who left an even more damning piece of evidence.
Damn, that's just unfortunate, bro.
After breaking into
That's
the
just
house
unfortunate.
in Atlanta, Jones took a moment to check his Facebook on the owner's computer before leaving.
This nigga broke into a house and checked his Facebook? For what? For what, bro? Nah, bro. Imagine breaking into a house and be like, hold on. Let me see what they're saying on my Facebook right now. Let me see what these niggas doing on Facebook. Let me see what my mom's up to on Facebook right now, nigga. Let me chill though, because I fucked up on Life is Strange and checked my Facebook and got me and my brother caught. So I really shouldn't be talking shit right now, because in a video game I fucked up. I made the same mistake and logged into Facebook. But look. Nah, this nigga's still a dumbass though.
Without logging out. Less than 3 years later, a similar story entered news headlines, reading, a 26-year-old Minnesota man has been tracked down by police after leaving his Facebook profile logged in at a house he allegedly robbed, although this story has a much funnier ending. The homeowner decided to message the robber via his Facebook, stating, you left a few things at my house last night, how can I get them back to you?
I'm crying!
Followed by the robber agreeing to come back to the home so he could collect the stuff he forgot. However, the robber didn't get any of his items back and was instead arrested,
obviously,
still wearing a watch that he'd stolen from the night
Come
before.
on now.
While both of these idiots used social media poorly, at least they didn't brag about the robbery in a YouTube video, as is what happened in the bizarre case of Hannah Sabata. In 2012, at the age of 19, Sabata stole $6,000 from a bank in Nebraska, and while almost anybody else would have simply kept quiet.
How do you rob a... Like, nah, you gotta be ballsy to rob a bank, bro. I'm not even gonna, like... Robbing a bank, like all the places I would rob, like a bank would be last on my list. I would just think it's too obvious, nigga. Like a bank is just too obvious. Like everybody, like that's the first thing. Like that's the last thing I'm thinking about robbing, bruh.
Poorly, at least they didn't brag about the robbery in a YouTube video, as is what happened in the bizarre case of Hannah Sabata. In 2012, at the age of 19, Sabata stole $6,000 from a bank in Nebraska, and while almost anybody else would have simply kept quiet, Hannah instead took to
I
her
just
YouTube
stole a
channel
car and robbed a
DuckyDee,
bank. Now I'm rich.
uploaded
I can pay off my college.
in which she'd straight up admit to having robbery. She'd then discuss her entire methodology for the crime while showing the money and the amount that had been stolen, before concluding the video by describing the vehicle she had used and that it had its...
The shiny new car is a Pontiac Grand AM. Of course, I already took the license plates off and threw them... Nigga, what?! You robbed a bank, went on Facebook, and posted the whole shit? And even added a description, my nigga?
Its license plates removed. This information...
She said... She didn't just post a video, nigga. She took the time to... It takes time to write a description, my nigga. You have to add a description to a video. So she was like, I'm gonna make sure everybody know what I did before they even watch the video, my nigga. Everything, bro.
Eventually resulted in Hannah Sabata's arrest and sentencing of 10 to 20 years prison, done so in a public courtroom filled to maximum capacity with people who had seen the video. Just 2 years prior to this,
she could have been on some Joker shit though. She could have been on some Joker shit though, for real. If she didn't, she could have, like, you know, Because that's some Joker type shit. If she didn't give out her location, she could have been on it.
Jail, having just served time for a trespassing charge. The only issue was he didn't have a car to leave the jail, so he decided to steal one from the visitors' parking lot, yet the car he decided to steal was a manual, and he could only drive auto.
Damn.
Singleton sat in the car looking like an idiot before being arrested and sentenced to a further 6 years in prison, telling deputies that he tried to take the car because he didn't feel like walking to his home about 6 miles away.
Lazy
and while you
bitch.
may be sat here thinking that these criminals can't get any dumber, it's time to introduce 53-year-old Michael Anthony Fuller. While it's common knowledge that the US banknote doesn't go any higher than $100, Fuller had the genius idea to create a counterfeit $1 million note before trying to use it at his local Walmart. He loaded his cart with a vacuum cleaner, a microwave, and various other items totaling $472 before handing the $1 million note to the cashier, expecting $999,528 in change. Needless to say, Walmart wasn't able to facilitate this, and instead store staff called police. Fuller was later charged with attempting to obtain property by false pretense and uttering a forged instrument.
Come on, nigga.
In 2000,
like, come on, bruh. Come the fuck on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Like, some people really just dumb as